So, the artist that we are working with today on voicing artist original characters is named Nichan. I believe that is officially what we're going with. Yes. You can see their gorgeous, adorable art here. I know! That's what I said too. I scout all my artists from Instagram usually, and I saw one of her pictures in my feed when I was searching, and I was like, oh, the colors! And I like to make the artists back-to-back sort of different energies. So last week we worked with a very dark, creepy, like dystopian energy, and so this week it's beautiful and it's pretty and it's colorful and it makes you smile. So this is Nichan. You can go follow her on Instagram, and you can see how cute and adorable her art is. Yes, it's so cutesy. We're gonna be working with a character from here. You'll see the character in a second. But she's got just the most adorable little art style. Look at these little faces. With this like chibi anime look and these beautiful like pastel-y colors and sometimes really bright colors. It's amazing. So go follow our artist as always, and thank you to Nichan for letting us use this. Now I'm gonna switch you over to the character that we are working with today. She is adorable. This is one of the ones that I saw when I was scrolling, and I was very much like, oh my goodness. Just the little lollipop and the little with the eyes. I love it so much. Oh my goodness, it's so adorable. And I had to ask. So I'm so glad that we get to work with her today. So the character's name this little girl we're looking at, her name is Yumuku Mizuki, or Yumu for short. So we will be referring to her as Yumu for this episode, just because it's a little easier. And I did get a bit of a description on sort of her personality and things that she likes and dislikes, and a little bit of background from the artist Nichan. So let me give you a little bit about her here. So Yumu is a college student majoring in arts and design, which I can attest. A lot of students, when I originally, I went to art college twice. So when I went to both schools, a lot of like artsy illustration or even craft makers often had this really cute, adorable style where it was just pop colors and like everything was pink and cute and bouncy. Amazing. This makes sense. She likes cute things, interest in like a Lolita style of outfit. So very much a young energy, a bubbly energy, a positive energy, like anything that's cutesy and you would go, ooh, this is Yumo's vibe, and we will stick with that. She's cheerful and bubbly in front of her friends. So we love this kind of energy of she's constantly sort of like bouncy and like upbeat and smiley. We're gonna play with this a lot, especially for those happy lines. She appears to be an airhead, but she's actually one of the top students. Now this is interesting to me, and we're gonna go into it a bit more when I talk about things that I see from the drawings and things of that nature. But I wanna put a pin in here that she's really, really smart. She's one of the top students in her college, but to most people, she looks and or comes across a little bit stupid, a little bit, I hesitate to use the word ignorant because to me that's more of a social thing, but maybe a little naive, maybe a little not book smart, maybe a little not street smart, that kind of thing. So we have to keep that in mind. The very last note I have here is in bold, loves sweets. And I think we can get that from the lollipop sitting in her little mouth here and what looked to almost be like confetti and stuff around her. She likes her sweets. So we'll definitely be dealing with that. Now, let me show you some of the other drawings of her we have, because we do have multiple drawings of her today. So this is the first one, and then we're gonna see, this is the second one. This one is interesting because it gives us sort of a pose and an emotion to play with, where she's got the little anime blush marks on her face, and her eyes are kind of like, and her scrunched up little face is like, oh, what are we doing? And then her hands are sort of straightening or maybe tightening her bow tie. I also adore this outfit. This outfit is so cute with her whole energy, and I love that the background just stays like stars and bright colors. Oh my goodness, and I love the stars in her eyes for her pupils. Amazing. So this is another one. And then we have this cute little one of just sort of like a profile photo of her with the biggest smile, and the cheeks are all rosy and they're all stuck up together because of how big her smile is. Yes, aw is correct. The amount of times, Mordekys, my editor, I'm so sorry, the amount of times you're gonna hear me say, aww, and it's so cute in this recording is crazy. Please don't leave them all in, Mordekys. I beg of you, I have an image to keep. Oh my goodness, she's adorable. I love her. I love how her hair sort of like bounces in this photo. Oh my goodness. And the very last one, we get treated. It is a full body picture. I love full body pictures and poses. And it's in such a unique and really like energy and movement based pose. And sometimes while I love full body pictures and they are some of the best ones, sometimes we get a little bit stagnant with poses. But this drawing has no idea what the word static means. This drawing has so much movement. She's almost like jumping forward, like she was gonna skip, but she's sort of like doing the Marilyn Monroe with her hands in front of her skirt because she's got a floofy little skirt on. So the back's poofing up while she skips, and the front she's pushing down with her little hands, and she's got this bounce that is happening in this pose, which we noted as one of her personality traits. And whether that it was intentional or not, the artist has given it to us. And that is why I love doing this series, because there's so much in the art that we've been describing just in this pose that is adding to the personality we are about to give her. Also, the biggest, like, she's got little fangs. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see. Look at that. Look at it. She's got the little fang, like the little anime mouths, and they do the big smiles, and it's and they get the little fangs out. Oh, it's so cute with the little fangs. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I love this. And I love that that's the smile she has, that just the biggest, happiest, peppy energy on the planet, and these beautiful blue eyes that are just so large and over the top, and her little bow is adding to the movement as well. And I really like this ring of stars. I don't know what purpose it serves, but I like sort of the color gradient that's happening with these stars, and how they like match sort of the color scheme of her outfit. And as always on this show, when we have the ability to, we talk about color. We talk about the colors in drawings and in artwork almost every single time we do an episode. And the reason is because colors are extremely important. Whether an artist realizes it or not, they give us a lot of information on a character with things like the pose, as we noticed earlier, but the colors. Her color scheme screams happy, peppy, excited, positive energy. And let's say what we did last time, right? These colors aren't necessarily the brightest on the planet. They don't punch you in the face. They're not neon. It's not a neon yellow or a neon pink or a neon blue, but they are bright. They're not pastels. I would not consider these colors pastels. Maybe you could argue that they seem a little like faded, but I would argue that the core color itself, in that yellow, in that pink of the bow, in that blue in her hair, in the pink on the shoes, right? That's not pastel. That is a core blue, a strong blue. It is a core pink and a strong pink and a core yellow and a strong yellow. Even the purple is a very strong pigmented purple. All of these colors are very pigmented. They're very strong. They're very bright. A pastel would give us more of a soft, calm energy. She doesn't have that. Her energy is not calm. It's not as punchy and erratic as a neon would be, but it's not as calm as a pastel would be. It sits in this beautiful place of these colors are pigmented and bright enough that we're like, oh, we have energy, we're excited, we're doing things, we're smiling, oh my goodness, without going too far and not enough, without going too much, too little, right? Over the top, under the top. We are, I would say if we're gonna middle line it, we have a middle line, a low line, and a high line, we are in between the middle line and the high line. Because I think middle base color, we wouldn't have this bright of a color palette. If we wanted a middle energy, right, the color choices themselves would be different. But because these color choices are already in the bright side of colors with yellow and blue and pink, and the only part of her that's purple is this center of the dress, which you are purposefully hiding in this pose and pulling your eye away from, the rest of the colors are bright, strong colors, yellow, purple, or yellow, pink, and blue. Because of that, I think we're already above middle line because of the color palette. And then since they're sort of like very bright, they go a little bit higher. So in between your middle and your high line, where it's not striking you because it's not neon, but it's definitely not calm happy because they're not pastel. And that's what I say about this color. And that's why color is so important when we talk about characters and when we talk about their design, what their personality is, and what we as an actor can discover from them. Or what you as a viewer can learn when you go to things. I know that some people are like not about going to like art museums and stuff, or maybe they go, but some pieces they just don't quite understand. And these little things, if we go, all right, I don't know that I get the energy, well, what do I notice about the colors? Or what do I notice about the pose, like we were talking earlier? Or what do I notice? Do they have little fangs, right? These little tidbits are things that we can go, I might not get it, or it might not be for me, but I understand what they were trying to do. And so I love doing this for characters. So we talked about pose, we talked about color. There's actually something I want to talk about with color in another photo too. So let's put this little guy back up. This is a little bit of a, if it's the same outfit, then it's a different color palette, but I think it may be a little bit of a different outfit. It's a little more frilly. The frills very much add to the bouncy sort of ecstatic, there we go, energetic. The sort of whoop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop constant movement of the photo. Also, the stars are a great tie into the background. We'll also notice she has got a little heart for like a little earring there, which is so cute. But her hair in this picture is not as smooth and like confined where the lift is at the bottom. It's all over the place. And then we have the little sweat drops, right? And then we've got the crushy eye, and then we've got the tightening of the bow. All of these aspects are showing us, hey, here's your peppy, here's your excited that you were seeing in her other happy moments. But this one isn't quite as pleasant. There's something about this with the hair going off in all directions and the hands being in this tight position and the face being scrunched that is like, she has the energy, but now that energy isn't quite as purely happy as the other photos, which for our purposes is amazing because this is what we're gonna use for our angry. When we do our angry line of dialogue and we create that character, we're gonna use this photo because this is taking all her energy and tightening it, squeezing it. And that's how you do angry dialogue, is you take your energy and you squeeze it. So we'll go back to this one. And of course, we're gonna use her little smiling face for happy because there's nothing happier than that little face right there. But we will start with this guy. So this drawing goes back to our colors. You see that bright neon blue in the back? Now we're getting punched at with that background. But the rest of her is these same sort of like bright, but a little bit more muted. Ooh, that's a good word. When I was trying to say shaded, muted. But her eyes are still very open, and her eyes have all three colors in them. This one strikes me as a little bit more of like wonder and interest. Her interest has been piqued. She's like, oh, what did you say? More candy? Like, which will probably become a dialogue is more candy. So that's what we're gonna use this one for, I think. But we start with these characters with happy. So, what do I see? Well, the things we've been talking about, zesty is a word I really like. Energetic, sparkling, especially with the stars and the eyes and things like that. I like zesty and sparkling and energetic because they bring this attribute. Not chaotic, not quite the word I want. They bring this movement. There we go. Because bubbly is good, right? Bubbly makes me think our energy is constantly bouncing and bubbly, but sparkling makes me think a bit more of like do and do and do. Long and prolonged moments of this beautiful poppy moving energy versus bubbly makes me think like boom, 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 boom. Where it's sort of like again and again and again and again. Sparkling is a little bit of a longer trait, and that will come into play when we start voicing, because it'll change the way that we speak from do 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 word after word after word to do 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 do, where it's longer pieces of this energy. Other things, I think she's very helpful because she's good at words. Because the artist said that she is one of the top students, so I think she maybe tutors some people or gives some advice. I don't know, we'll see. I think she's organized and studious. She has to be if she's going to be very intelligent and very book smart and a very good student. She's chirpy. This is another one of those words where I'm like, it gives me a very specific image of not just upbeat and constantly moving, but higher in pitch and sort of a sing-songy to her movement rather than bam, bam, bam. It's like a ha, 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 like a little Disney princess. Jolly, enthusiastic. She's not just happy, but she's upbeat about it. She's not just positive, she's passionate about the fact that she is in this positive light and always has a smile on her face. Now, here's what I want to talk about. There's a few words that I wrote on here because we do deal with emotions like angry and sad that we need to be able to pull from. So the words that I wrote are fussy and meticulous. I think when you come from this place of being a really good book student, right? You're really good at school, you're really good at that kind of thing, turning in homework, doing notes, getting things done on time. There has to be a part of you that is like so on edge of like, that's not how it's done. I need to do that thing today. I can't go out with you to go get a drink. I have to do it today, right? There's a bit and a piece of you of like, no, that's not the plan. You need to follow the plan. That's not how it said to color. You need to color in the lines. You can't color outside the line, right? There's a bit of that energy when you are so good at following rules that feeds back into you, where you start to give yourself this mentality of like, no, I can't do that. What are you talking about, right? And so that's where I want to pull from for this angry and this sad. I also like the thing that I said we'd come back to, so here we are. Appears to be an airhead, but actually a top student. That was given to us by the artist. This makes me think that she is self-conscious about her intelligence. Because why would you put on this air of being unintelligent, of not having common sense, of not having street smarts, of not having book smarts with people that you care about, with your friends, with all these things? Why would you not just let it be? Now, it could be that this was meant to be taken more of, oh, people think that she's dumb because of the way she dresses and because of the way she looks. And I understand that fully, and I think we can play with that. But I think it's fair to say that you know the consequences of how people are going to view you. And so you're making the decision of, I want to feel comfortable in my bright colors and my cute appearance, even though I know other people are gonna look at me and say, wow, she must be an idiot. Because look at the way she dresses and look at the way she speaks and look at her energy. And she's actively choosing to be like, fuck those people, right? For lack of a better term. I will be who I want to be. But that doesn't mean that there isn't an insecurity about it. It doesn't mean that you don't wake up every morning and look at your wardrobe and go, can I handle what they think today? Can I put this on and have enough strength mentally to walk out that door and to deal with every single comment and look and thing. I do that as a little goth bitch. I love being goth. I love being punk, right? But even the way I describe myself as goth, I identify as a punk, but I use the term goth because I think it's easier for other people to understand what that is. So there's an insecurity there, right? It's a, if I take all of this off and I dress how people dress where I am, I won't get noticed and I can relax for a second. Can my anxiety handle what this comes with today? And so I think we can play with that insecurity a little bit with her in regards to her intelligence, in regard to things like that. Maybe she thinks that other people will see her as stuck up or snooty if they know that she's really this book smart and good at school. And they'll be like, oh, well, who does she think she is? Like, looking like that and not needing to study and getting straight A's without even studying for the quiz. Like, maybe that's the case. Maybe she thinks her friends will consider her pretentious or a know-it-all. Maybe she doesn't want to be singled out. There's so many things that could be happening here. So we can play with any of them. We'll have to see what comes to us naturally, because I love working with natural reactions in the moment. There's nothing better than whatever comes to you and feels right while you're improvising dialogue. So now we can move on to what I was accidentally going to do earlier, our emotions. Let's improv some dialogue for our Yumu here. So I want to start with, we're going to start with happy, as we always do. Let's switch over a little bit to this one right here. I love this cute little smile. She's the happiest thing on the planet. And I really, really love this face. So I'm thinking for her voice, because characters like this, especially when they dress cute and that's their preference of things, is like candy and sweets and things like that, they tend to have a higher voice. So we're probably going to raise our voice a little bit. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a soft high pitch or if it's going to be a bit more of a, the only word I can think of is stinging, but that's not quite what I mean. A bit more of a tonal high pitch, which if you don't know what that word means, you'll know if we do the voice. And if we don't end up doing that voice, then don't worry about the word tonal, and we can cut that part out. Let's see what voice we get. So I'm thinking for her happy line, what would make her incredibly happy is if she is spending the day with her friends, her best friends, and they have like gone to the candy store. Do you know in the mall when you go in and there's that big gigantic store that has like a barbershop pole that looks like candies around it, and then the whole inside is just, you can fill up your own bags of candy and pay for it by the pound. You can get redone sweets. Yes, exactly. That store in the mall, I never remember what it's called, but that is where I think her heaven would be. That's what I think her best day out is all of her friends and her walk up to this candy store and they just get whatever they want. And she's getting like gumdrops and lollipops and all the traditional like bright colored rainbow candy. And her friends are probably getting their different versions. But this is the setting that I want to put her in for happy, because I think it's absolutely where she would be. So let's give it a shot. Let's try it. Let me get a sip. Here we go. Happiness. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. This is my favorite place in the world. I wonder if they have new sweets this week. They do get in a shipment every Sunday. But they weren't sure if the really good ones were coming in this Sunday. And they ran out of them last week. But I bet I could just ask. Maybe they'll have them in, and then maybe this will be the best Sunday ever.
That was so cute. That was so cute. But she had exactly what I was curious if would happen, where instead of a boom, 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 I'm excited, here's a line of dialogue, oh my goodness, I'm talking so fast, blah, 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 right, that a lot of happy, excited characters usually have, she didn't do that. Her excitement and her happiness in this dialogue we just did was very much a do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And we had mentioned earlier in this live stream and earlier in the episode, we had mentioned that her excitement feels more like a song. It feels more like a melody. She's happy and she's bubbly and she's excited, but there's a rhythm to it. Rather than jabbing you with a pitchfork, it's ba-ba-da-ba. You're joining her on this wave, on this music in her voice. And yes, Leah, it flows very nicely. And I think that came out when we were doing that line of dialogue, which I didn't expect to happen. I was kind of hoping that something would develop while we were doing it, whether she became fast or whether she was slow, and it did. And so I don't know that I want to redo that piece of dialogue because I like how it came about. I think maybe some of the context we could change. I do think I said the word Sunday a lot. But I don't know. I kind of liked it. I think I'm going to go for it again and see naturally if this comes back. And I want to be more specific about the sweets that she's picking up because she loves candy. So let's see if we can be more specific about the actual candy that she's picking up from this candy store. Here we go.
It's like heaven on earth. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful than the candy store? Oh, I'm gonna get rainbow lollipops, and rainbow nerds, and rainbow pixie sticks, and rainbow Lego blocks, and rainbow runts, and rainbow everything. I wonder if they'll let me buy the entire store. Do I have enough in my bank account to purchase every candy in here? I have been saving, and I've been saving for just this occasion. Oh well, I don't want to make them bankrupt. I'll let them keep their candy, for now.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I'm really glad we redid that. I like both versions. I think Mordekys, when you're editing this, it's okay to keep both of those attempts in. Because what happened was I tried to be more specific with the candy that she was picking up and the things that she was getting and what she was saying. And the more I went on with going specifics, like rainbow lollipops, rainbow nerds, rainbow pixie sticks, my brain started losing the specifics and was like, this doesn't feel right. This isn't right. She wouldn't be choosing specific candy like this. This is not how our brain works. And so the more I went on, the more I was like, nope, we need to change this train of thought. It naturally isn't working. So that's why we changed to this idea that came to me of, can I just get everything? Because it started very, okay, maybe she's a bit more like, I want this and this and this and this. And then as we went, it was like, no, this doesn't fit with her energy. So what if I want everything? Oh, this fits with my energy. I like this. And so that's where I kept coming from of like, well, what if I get the whole store? And well, I saved the money, but okay, a little bit. And she jokes a little bit. Not a lot of characters joke. I really liked that came into that dialogue. Okay. So this means that we need to go on to dialogue number 2, which is going to be our angry dialogue. So we need to do some angry improv, so let's switch this picture to our little fussy, irritated little one, where she's pulling on this bow, she's got a type of face on, and her little sweat anime marks are coming, and she's kind of like, ugh, type of energy, almost like a Toad or a Yoshi, where she's like, that's the energy and the sound that makes me want to create from this image, is like you're mumbling to yourself. So what would make Yumu, this bubbly, excited, happy character, our beautiful character Yumu that we're working with today, she's kind of like in this type of state with this image of like tension and things in her body and her hair and her eyes and her little mouth all scrunched up. So what would make her angry? I think Yumo in this case, instead of being like pure angry, I'm gonna punch, I'm gonna get upset, I hate you type of energy, I think Yumu's angry is gonna come from a place of stress. I think it's gonna come from a place of frustration, where she's like, why aren't things going the way that I think they're supposed to go? They're supposed to go to the line, dot your T's in your I's, like color inside of the lines. Things aren't going right, and I don't understand, and it needs to go right. So I'm gonna try and give her a bit of that tension and frustration and just like particular energy, very specific, very oriented and focused, but in a frustrated way. So I think maybe I'm gonna have her work on an art piece, since we know she's a college student. I'm gonna have this art piece just not be doing the thing that she wants it to do. That's always the worst, when you're like, ugh, I just can't get this to look right. Why doesn't it look the way I want it to look? And so I think that's where we're gonna do her frustration. So let's give it a shot.
Maybe if I just sort of draw this line and... No. Oh, okay, well, maybe I just need a different color. Maybe this shade of blue will look good in the... Oh... Nothing I do is working. It all just looks silly. I'm never gonna get a good grade on this piece. Oh, they're gonna fail me out of this class. I just know it. I don't know how to draw things that are serious. I mean, where's all the color? Where's all the fun? I just... Oh... Why do I stink at this?
Ooh. I like that. I like that her angry isn't like hate. We talk sometimes in these episodes about the pure essence of an emotion. For happy, it's just unbridled joy. For anger, it is hate. It is mean. It is cruel. For sadness, it is just kind of, I hate to use the word depression. It's I cannot think of the word. I'm gonna say defeated. It's not quite what I want, but it's kind of defeated. But for her anger isn't pure in the sense that it's not about mean, it's not about being cruel-spirited, it's not about being hating on someone, not herself, not other people. Her anger is about frustration. It's about not being able to properly, as I just showed, not being able to properly articulate what she's trying to get across. And so it's not, now for her it's drawing, it's artwork. For me it's speaking, clearly. But what she's trying to say is not getting across. It's just not coming out right. The feelings and emotions that she wants to put into this piece, she doesn't get it. And when you don't get how to portray something, when you don't get how to make the other person understand, it gets so frustrating. Because you know what you want to say. You know what you want them to see, you know what you want them to think, you know what you want them to feel, but you just don't have the tools. You just don't have the capability right here and now. And so you just kind of want to be like, ah, and let all this energy out. And I think that's where hers was coming from. And I really like that for her. Rather than being mean-spirited, not even towards herself, right? She's not angry at herself. She's just upset that the things she needs aren't here. That's it. Just upset at the world. Upset at the circumstance. Upset at the happenings. That's what I like for her energy, because we keep her in this sense of other versus personalizing it to like, you're bad or I'm bad or blah. It's not her personality. So we do have one improv dialogue left, which we're going to switch images for. I kind of want to go to, this is going to be so incorrect. I'm going to go to this one. And this is not, we're not really going to go off of the image itself for this, because this is a relatively happy, sort of like wonder-filled one. And none of these are sad, right? So if we look back on these, this one's that angry frustration we just did. This one's the happy emotion we did. And this one is her being filled with joy to the brim. So none of these are sad. So we're not going to use an image-based reference while we do this emotion. And this happens sometimes, especially if we only get one drawing. We're just going to go from what do we think would make her sad? And I want to go all the way back to the beginning when we were talking about her appearing to people as stupid, as an airhead, when in reality she's very smart. She's a very good student. And perhaps her appearance or the way that she carries herself gives off the energy of not being smart. But I want to take this idea that even though she muscles through it, she is genuinely a little hurt when people make these comments about her being dumb and her being like a child. She's not. And she knows they're coming. And you know that people are going to hate on you. But it still hurts. And so I want to take that for the sadness. And I'm debating on whether or not she is going to be talking to somebody else about this or talking to herself, because that both of those have happened when we do these characters. But I don't know yet. I think we're going to let it naturally come out and see whether we want to be talking to herself or talking to other people. So let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
I'm okay. It's all right. No. I know that people say those things about me. They see a smile, and they look at the way I'm dressed, and they laugh. But to be honest, it's not the laughing that hurts my feelings. People laugh at you regardless of the way you look. Sometimes I hear them say things about how she's the dumbest girl on campus, and she draws like a child, and who does she think she is? She probably only got here because her daddy paid for it, or things like that. And sometimes I just wish that, I don't know, people would look past the surface. But wishful thinking, I guess it's not fair of me to ask them to look beyond the surface. I mean, they don't even know me, right? So it's fine. I'm fine. I promise.
Oh no! Oh, that's so sad! Oh my goodness! Wow, okay, so she did end up talking to somebody else. And the energy that came was, I think, somebody who's like, you know, why do you let them speak like that? Or more along the lines of, yo, like, they're rude, don't listen, like, I'm so sorry type energy. She's like, it's fine, they say things all the time, I don't care. Of course she cares. Of course she cares. But sometimes characters like that, when we do their sad or their angries, will loop back to like a different state. So sometimes you start sad and you go to happy. And it felt like we were going in that direction, where I was like, oh, we're sad about this thing, but everything's fine and everything's okay. But when I got to that ending, everything is fine and everything is okay and I'm fine, I just couldn't do it happy. I was feeling it and I was like, we definitely are going to end this with like an I'm okay. And my thought was, maybe she's okay. And then I just went for it, and I said the line. She is not okay. There was so much pure, like, unadulterated, maybe I am what they say I am, in that I'm okay. Oh my god, it's heartbreaking. Whew. And it just, she was not happy. She's not okay. The sadness stayed. The happiness did not come back around. Which sometimes happens with these characters. You gotta live in it sometimes. Okay. That was our voicing artist original characters. To folks in my live stream, we're gonna continue for a bit. I got some voice acting auditions I want to do with y'all. For my YouTube viewers, thank you for watching this episode of Voicing Artist Original Characters. Thank you to Nichan for letting us play with her character today. It was so much fun. You have beautiful artwork, and I appreciate you. Again, everyone go follow her on social media, of course. Feel free to subscribe if you want to join us for the next episode. You can also join us live every Monday on YouTube and Twitch, 9 p.m. EST, when we make these new episodes. Chat does a great job interacting and giving me suggestions or thought processes on the character, everything like that. But for now, we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye!